Alright, I'm all finished drawing my wild thing. Has lots of good details. I traced everything with my black Sharpie marker, and now I'm ready to add the color. We're not just going to color it in, we're going to use textures. So we used textures when we did our leaf rubbings on our trees. We're going to look for things around our house or here at school that we can use for texture. Here's one thing that a lot of you might have. I have a piece of cardboard and I peeled off the top layer of paper, and you just grab an edge and start peeling it, and then you get this type of paper underneath. I found this lunch tray. This has a similar kind of texture. The edge of my sketchbook, which you should all have, has this ribbing that has texture. I see this coffee can has that texture to it. You can also take your shoe off and put the bottom of your shoe under your paper. Look at my coffee mug. It has texture here. I'm going to use all these things to create texture. But you're also going to have to take a crayon and peel some paper off of it. You don't have to break your crayon, just take a crayon and start picking away at the paper. If you already have a paperless crayon, that's great. I actually do have a whole box of crayons with no papers on them, but since most of you don't have that, I'm going to show you how I start this. So I just pick away until all the paper is off on a good chunk of it, so about that much, it's about an inch. And I'm going to take this, oh, I got coffee on my paper, that's not good. I'm going to take this and put it under my picture, and I better go somewhere else. I'm going to go down to these tentacles, and I'm going to rub it on that tentacles area. And you see the texture comes right out. So I'm going to make this all these cardboard type texture. Now it's not done yet. I'm just going to get one layer, and if you go outside of the line it's okay because we're going to cut these out and put them onto a different background. So let me get all my tentacles colored in. Alright, now let's go up to the beak. Let me get, I like the texture on my coffee mug, and I'm going to use a new color, so I think I'll use orange. I would probably use yellow, except you probably won't be able to see yellow if I use yellow. And I'm going to get that out of the way and put my coffee cup here, and let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that's looking cool. So it's a smaller texture than the cardboard. So you can see all the bumps from that. Alright, I'll get that out of the way. Let's try this. I'm going to use this for the body. I think I'm going to have a green body. So I'll get my green peeled back. Once you peel one crayon, you kind of get the hang of it. You don't, like I said, that's really about all you need. You just have to move it around. Put this under here. There we go. I was afraid it wasn't going to work. It's a noisy texture. I think I'll just do my arm with this thing. It's a little harder to use. Not everything's going to be the same. You know, all you have to do to find things with texture is touch them, and if you can feel that it has bumps on it, or these ridges, then it will work for texture. Here's my notebook, or my sketchbook edge. So I get nice little bumps. Oops. Make sure I'm on the side of my crayon. I'll get this arm done. his hand as much as I can on there. Alright. Let me see if I have anything else that has good texture laying around. Oh, well, most of you don't have this. This is another assignment I have, but I put texture on it. So I'm going to use that. Make sure it's underneath. Now I want to go around my eyeball. I don't want a green eyeball. Or the horns. If I get some on the eyebrow, it's okay. I'll color over that. Alright, now I can go back and add more details to it with color. So I think I want to add some yellow green to the regular green, and I'll color right over my texture, because as long as I use a lighter color, it won't cover it up. So I wouldn't want to go over this with blue, but if I go over it with yellow, it'll be okay. So with the purple, I can use red, or I could use light green, but I don't want to use blue or black because I'll lose it. Let's see what happens. If I color lightly, it should show through nicely. So this is a red-violet crayon. So I'm adding two colors. I first put down texture. Now I'm adding just regular color to fill in all the white space. And I can get a little sloppy today because I'm cutting it out when I'm done. I'm going to have fun cutting out these tentacles. So take your time and do a nice job. Don't rush through this. Have fun looking for textures around your house, or if you're here at school, we'll have some different things we can use as well. They're those tentacles. They look a lot more interesting with two colors than they do with just one color. So that beak just has the one color. Tentacles has two. Before we go, let me see. I'm gonna mix some green in with the beak and see what happens. It's light green, so it doesn't overpower the orange. That's looking cool. Doesn't look too weird. Like it's not making a real yucky color like a gray. Not bad. Alright, finish the whole thing. Now the eye and the horn, I'm going to just color in. I'm not going to do texture in those. It's kind of hard to do little spots. Same with the little wristbands. But I'll make sure I do a color that I didn't use for the arm so that the wristbands stand out. So I'm going to use this purple color. Oops. Tell you, I break crayons all the time. You gotta get control over that. Okay. There's my texture creature. It's not quite finished. When I'm all done coloring it, I'm going to cut it out and glue it down to another sheet of paper. So I'll do that in step 2.